Abdul Rahman Al-Dakhili, the eagle who revived the glory of the Umayyads in Andalusia in the 2nd century after the fall of the Umayyad state in Damascus to the Abbasids. A wave of violence and persecution of all members of the Umayyad family began. Those were the days of clarity for the Umayyads as the Abbasids pursued them relentlessly. In an attempt to obtain any hope of their request for rule, Abdul Rahman's escape. Abdul Rahman bin Muawiyah, the grandson of the Umayyad Caliph Hisham bin Abdul Malik, was a young man who had a reasonable ambition in his heart, despite the suffering that befell his family. While the Abbasids arrived in Damascus, Abdul Rahman, who was in October of his life, had to flee with the youngest of them and their winners. They set out on a journey full of dangers, through the desert and valleys. On a dark day, the Abbasids managed to capture his younger brother, and Abdul Rahman watched from the other side of the Euphrates River. A horrific scene as his brother was executed in front of Rai. The expected scene was inspired by the painful revenge in the heart of the young Umayyad. Traveling to Andalusia after years of pursuit and hiding in the lands of the Levant and Iraq all the time, Abd al-Rahman reached the Berber tribes in Morocco. She had relations with the tribes who appreciated her courage and wisdom, so they offered her protection and support. However, Abd al-Rahman's goal was clear: to reach Andalusia. At that time, Andalusia was ruled by the state, who were loyal to the Abbasid Caliphate, but its situation was forced by tribal conflicts between Arabs and Berbers. Abd al-Rahman saw in this conflict an opportunity to build a strong base and restore his glory. Abd al-Rahman sent letters to his Umayyad supporters in Andalusia inviting them to join the Umayyad rule. After a series of contacts and preparations, he crossed the Caribbean in disguise to the shores of Andalusia, where his guests were warmly welcomed by his supporters. The decisive battle, the road to power, was not easy. Abd al-Rahman faced the governor of Andalusia, Yusuf al-Firi, who refused to recognize his wisdom and saw Abd al-Rahman as an intruder. In addition to a decisive battle near Cordoba in 756 Abd al-Rahman led his forces with skill and courage, and achieved a resounding victory despite the small number of his army compared to Yusuf al-Firi. The Umayyad emir decided after his death Abd al-Rahman entered Cordoba himself as the emir of Andalusia. It began to unify the country and became a stable state. He worked to establish justice in agriculture and trade, and Cordoba was a beacon of knowledge. Abd al-Rahman was a unique model of leadership for the interior. Firmness and flexibility, strength and wisdom were combined. Despite all the difficulties he faced, he was able to establish an Umayyad emirate in Andalusia for centuries, a beacon of Islamic civilization in Europe. The legendary heritage of Abd al-Rahman is that he was the first of the Umayyads to enter Andalusia and rebuild their state. With his courage and intelligence, he was not only a prince, but a symbol of perseverance and frontal steadfastness. He made us towards the path of glory and transformed Andalusia into a paradise on earth, where arts and sciences flourished and influenced the Islamic civilization in the world.